Hi everyone, Eva here. It's Sleep Tip Tuesday. So today I want to address a very common question that I get from parents of babies and children of almost all ages. And the question is it too late for you to sleep train your baby or child? And I'll get that type of question from parents of 6-month-olds who will say, oh my gosh, is it too late? Did I miss the window? As if we're talking about teaching an old dog new tricks. Or I'll get that same type of question from parents of a 1-year-old or of an 18-month-old or a 2-year-old or 3-year-old who feel as though their baby or child has had these sleep habits for so long that their sleep is just so bad and that it's going to be impossible to change things and that most likely these habits are just here to stay. Here's the good news though. It doesn't matter how old your baby or child is. As long as he or she is healthy, you can always make positive changes in the sleep department. Always. It's never too late. Here's something though that I do want to emphasize, and that is that generally speaking, the longer you wait and the longer your baby or child holds on to the habits that you want to break, the harder it's going to be for you to actually change them. And the reason is somewhat obvious. The longer anyone has some type of habit, the harder it's going to be to change that habit because they become really set in their ways. And babies and children are no different. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't make changes if your child is much older and has had these habits for so long. It's just going to mean that it's going to be a little bit harder and it's going to take longer than if you had done the work when your child was younger. But it's not a reason to hold off on making these changes. Now look, if your gut is telling you that it's just not the right time for one reason or another, then listen to yourself because you obviously know what's best. So if your gut is telling you to delay sleep training or sleep work for now, then obviously listen to yourself. But if you know deep down inside that this is the right time, that there's no better time like the present to be making these changes, do it. Don't underestimate what kind of gift you're giving your child when you're teaching him how to fall asleep on his own and put himself back to sleep on his own so that he ends up sleeping through the night uninterrupted. Don't underestimate the value of uninterrupted sleep on your child's health and emotional well-being and development. I cannot tell you how many families I've worked with babies or children whom, when we started off, had either eating issues, they weren't eating solids very well or weren't eating solids at all, they had gross motor delays, perhaps they weren't crawling, they weren't walking when they should be, they had speech delays, they weren't talking as much and needed to be in speech therapy, and then suddenly, once we got the child or baby sleeping through the night, or at least sleeping substantially better than they were before, all of a sudden, the baby's eating solids like a champ. All of a sudden, the 2-year-old's speech has exploded and she no longer needs speech therapy. All of a sudden, the baby is now walking when he was barely even crawling beforehand. Coincidence? Maybe, but I'll leave that one up to you. Have a good day, everyone.